Some are gonna hate it. Some are gonna love it. But I'm gonna speak the truth.
Okay, so Guts versus Reacher, who's stronger?
It depends on when, where, and why.
So if we're talking raw strength?
Raw strength, they are both so formidable, but I would have to say Reacher.
Why?
He has 2 arms.
I would give Guts raw strength, for sure.
You would, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. He's a huge guy. He's every bit size-wise the size of Reacher. Reacher has no advantage there. Reacher doesn't exercise. He abhors exercise. Whereas, you know, our friend Guts is swinging a 50-pound sword around all day long. So, okay, I'll concede that.
So you're giving Guts raw strength?
Raw strength.
What about intelligence and tactical skills?
All right, tactical skills and intelligence are different. Raw intelligence, I've got to give it to Reacher. He's been sleuthy, brainiac all his life. Very smart guy. Now, tactics, again, I'm going to say tactics on the battlefield. I got to give it to Guts.
What about endurance and durability?
Okay, and it is endurance because we're talking about the kind of fight that stamina does not play a role. This is about endurance. This is going beyond your limits. Wow, I got to give it to Guts.
Yeah, I got
to give it to Guts. He's been through the abyss. He gnawed his own arm off. Reacher might gnaw someone else's arm off.
But never his own.
But not his own. He's going to be thinking ahead. I'm going to need 2 arms.
Yeah. Okay, what about agility and speed?
Reacher has no speed whatsoever. I know sometimes the TV version of him makes him a guy who sprints down the road, but those of us who have read all the books know he abhors running, so definitely goes to Guts. And remember, he's been practicing with a sword, you know, Goliath sword, and mastered it.
Yeah.
Tremendous agility, tremendous strength.
Okay, what about mental fortitude and willpower?
When it comes to willpower, I got to give it to Guts. He just has a will to live and win. But when you're talking about the mental aspect of things, whereas Guts runs ahead, we see that all the time in a pattern with him. Reacher doesn't do that. He sits down for a moment and thinks it through. Reacher's had to think himself out of some pretty tight spots.
What about weaponry or combat style?
Well, when it comes to weaponry, Guts has his own built in.
So you're giving that one to Guts?
Gotta give it to Guts.
Okay, so overall,
you're
giving it to Guts.
If they just went one-on-one, some are gonna hate it. Some are gonna love it. But I'm gonna speak the truth. They would both be exhausted and alive.